Iwasan na ang mga bisyo, sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin, buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba, dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo, sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin, buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na! Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo, sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin, buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba, dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo, sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin, buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao.
Sumapit na ang alas 4, basketball na muna tayo. For the 9th time this season, the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League travels back to the culinary capital of the Philippines here in Pampanga. We are at the Brenzigiao Convention Center in San Fernando, the home of your 2023 national champions. For our first game, we feature Lawrence Victoria, who is looking to be at the forefront once again of the attack of the Pasay Voyagers. He will be matched up today against Louis Vigil, who has scored a total of 92 points in his first 3 games with the Bacolod City of Smiles. Later on at 6 o'clock p.m., it's going to be the Valenzuela Classic facing the Muntinlupa Cagers. And in our main event, it's going to be an electrifying matchup between the Pampanga Giant Lanterns and the Pangasinan Heatwaves. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, to everybody watching on MPTV Channel 98 on Signal, Satellite Channel 53 on the Pilipinas Live app, as well as on our Facebook and YouTube channels. This is Javi Palanya alongside Coach Juanito Gregorio. Juanito, itong Pasay, they are looking to get back-to-back victories here today, but I'd like to focus on Bacolod, who are losers of 13 straight games. You've said to me before this game that you've been able to watch their practices kasi sa Gameville nga rin sila nag-i-ensayo. And have you seen any changes compared to the start of the season to now?
Oh, yes. You know, this is revamped, retooled. This is a much stronger team. Their energy is different. This Bacolod team wants to win. They were asking me, kaya pa ba? Technically, kaya pa. You know, they're only 6 games back from the number 8 position. If they can find that late season surge and get those victories in, with this retooled lineup, this is a good chance para sa Bacolod to start a good winning streak.
Well, with Louis Vigil scoring and of course the addition of Ivan Ludovice, may pag-asa pa naman talaga itong Bacolod City of Smiles. The third member of our broadcast panel is Ms. Mika Abisam. Ms. Mika, good afternoon.
The Brenzigiao Convention Center is just about ready for 3 exciting ball games, but for this first game, bukod sa kinaing kambing ni Elvin Chan dito sa Pampanga, and marami pa kami na pag-usapan ni Coach Marlon Martin at isa na dyan ang accountability. He would like to start infusing this, especially it's crunch time getting into the playoffs. Para naman dito sa Bacolod, as you guys mentioned, they're very happy to have Ivan Ludovice. Pero syempre, kesa i-discuss ko pa ang value na, sigurado naman ako makikita natin ang impact niya dito sa larong ito. Javi and Juanito?
Well, he has always been a very impactful player wherever team he goes. Itong si Ivan Ludovice, malalaman natin yan kung magiging ganun ang epekto niya para dito sa Bacolod. Let's take a look at our team standings, beginning with the Southern Division, kung saan nga itong Bacolod, they are still at the number 14 spot. But you mentioned kanina, they are 6 games away from that number 8 seed.
It's very, very tight here sa Southern Division. But we look at Bacolod here, they're only 6 games down from Iloilo. And again, we were talking about the lineup they have, the new additions with this roster. So it's going to be very interesting if they can start a good run because they still have 13 games left here in the season.
We are halfway through the season. Tapos na ang ating trading window at ating free agent signing dito naman sa Norte. Juanito, ano nangyayari?
Which it's very, very tight here at the 6, 7, 8, and 9th spot. Quezon City getting that to win is only 1 game. Sorry, it's tied already for number 8 with Valenzuela. And Pasay right now needs to be able to chip away from Valenzuela because they are very tight for that playoff picture.
One thing interesting, itong Pangasinan, they are still at the number 11 spot. They will try to move up in the North Division standings later on with a victory against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. That will be a tall order. Pero pag-usapan muna natin ang mga teams na maglalaro sa ating first game, beginning with the Pasay Voyagers. Before the game against the Bataan Risers, they lost 3 straight against 3 North Division rivals. But this was a good bounce-back victory para sa kanila, 82-78.
Well, this is a game that they really were able to recover from their past losses. They were able to regain their team composure. They were able to trust each other. And that has been the signature of Pasay the whole season. Everybody chipping in, everybody able to contribute when needed. And finally, we saw that in that last game. But that will be the last game played by Patrick Sleet. It's going to be very interesting who will step up para dito sa Pasay Voyagers. You look at the numbers, they were able to take care of that ball. Only 7 turnovers. And of course, that running game has always been a strength of the Voyagers with this kind of lineup, and I'm sure they'll be able to run once again here in this ball game.
That's why it's going to be very interesting how Coach Marlon Martin and the rest of the Pasay Voyagers will be moving on from the departure of Patrick Sleet, who goes back to the Perpetual Help Altas in the NCAA. Of course, this is going to be his residency year. But itong Bacolod, they lost again against Valenzuela despite the 35 points of Louis Vigil. He has really been on a tear in his first 3 games in the MPBL. Unfortunately, kinapos ang Bacolod dito against Val City.
Well, something I want to really highlight from this is their offense. They were able to score 81 points. Their retooled roster has really added a lot of scorers with Ludovice there, of course with Marilao still there, and of course Louis Vigil. But it's their defense that really struggled in that last game, that they were able to give 88 points to Valenzuela. That is something they have to improve going to this ball game.
Will Bacolod snap their 13-game losing streak, or will the Pasay Voyagers get back-to-back victories? Malalaman natin yan in just a bit. Let's turn you over to Richard Tampos.
Live on the MPBL FB page, YouTube channel, MPTV Signal Channel 98, MPTV Satellite Channel 53, and on Pilipinas Live app. The 2024 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 6, presented by Extreme. Here are the starters. Let's begin with Pasay Voyagers. At forward number 23, Brian Hilario. Also at forward number 9, AJ Coronel. Guard number 5, Axel Inigo. Center number 4, Warren Bonifacio. Starting at guard number 1, Lawrence Victoria. The head coach is Marlon Kid Martin. Assistant coaches Big Escudero, Hubert De Los Santos, Cholo Martin, Wendell Cadiz, Adrian Boal. Team manager Jonathan Tolibas. Team owners are Leon Calixto Rubiano, Raul Pacalso, Lavin Castro, JD Castro, and Mickey Ligot. And here's for Bacolod, City of Smiles. Guard number 26, Tricky Peromingan. At forward number 24, Louis Vigil. Also at forward number 18, Alfred Cedillo. Guard number 16, Ivan Ludovice. Center number 14, Decoy Lopez. The head coach is Alex Cabagnot, with the team representative Paul San Jose. Assistant coaches Rog Tolentino and Juben Formasil. Assistant team manager Bong Sangalang. Coaching consultant Chris.
Our starting 5 of the game brought to you by New Star Max. Win to the max. Axel Inigo and Lawrence Victoria in the backcourt, joined by Warren Bonifacio, Brian Hilario, and AJ Coronel in the front line para sa Pasay Voyagers. For Bacolod, Ivan Ludovice, their newest acquisition, starts at the guard spot together with Ricky Peromingan, who is playing against his former squad this afternoon. He is joined by Decoy Lopez, Alfred Cedillo, and the high-scoring Louis Vigil. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Brenzigiao Convention Center. This is Javi Palanya alongside Coach Juanito Gregorio and Ms. Mika Abisamis. First game of our Thursday triple header. Pasay looking for back-to-back victories, while itong Bacolod, they are looking to snap their 13-game losing streak. This is the longest losing streak in the MPBL, next to Imus. Peromingan gets it to another new acquisition for Bacolod, Decoy Lopez down low, but they kick it out to Cedillo, who swishes the 3 for the first possession of the game.
No, last year he really played well para dito sa Bacolod, but this is one guy that I really want to be able to get a lot more opportunities para dito sa Bacolod. So they really need to be able to look for him in that offense and to start the ball game, get his first 3.
Ludovice gets a stop there para sa Bacolod. Decoy Lopez fakes the 3, goes inside, flips it up. A little bit too strong on that finger roll. Decoy Lopez is a good acquisition para dito sa Bacolod, especially because they have really been lacking in that center spot.
You know, they've been looking for that middleman that can really contribute during the season, and Decoy Lopez is really going to be a very good addition. One guy who can put that ball on the floor, can move without that basketball, and can even stretch out if needed para dito sa Bacolod.
Warren Bonifacio has been able to put Pasay on the board, 3-2. Wala pang 2 minuto ang nakakalipas dito sa ating unang laro. Bonifacio, nice move inside.
It looks like the game plan of Pasay is to put it down low, use that size advantage of Warren Bonifacio, and that's already 4 straight points off the paint para dito sa Voyagers.
Peromingan near the free throw line, that stroke looking pretty. I know that when a player goes up against his former team, there's some more motivation. And I'm sure that is the case para dito kay Tricky Peromingan this afternoon.
May gutom yan, and something to prove because that was your former team. So Let's see how tricky pero Mingan will be playing here in the ball game.
Warren Bonifacio has been able to get the first 2 baskets para dito sa Pasay Voyagers. Meanwhile, on the other side, it has been scattered between Peromingan and the other players of Bacolod. Hilario scoring there para sa Pasay.
Again, from the inside, 6 points off the paint para dito sa Voyagers to start the ball game.
Cedillo doesn't go for the 3 this time. Goes closer, kisses it off the glass, and one opportunity para dito kay Alfred Cedillo.
I love how he plays. He doesn't rush anything, reads the situation well, can go right, can go left. That is the talent brought to you by Alfred Cedillo. Through 2, but no problem. Gets 2 and the foul.
Cedillo is one of the homegrowns para sa Bacolod. Did not see action against Valenzuela in their last game. Getting the starting nod this afternoon para dito kay Coach Alex Cabagnot. 7-6. Hilario wants it against Cedillo. Hilario spins baseline, trying to muscle his way, eventually getting the pass to the corner. Victoria misfires from the outside. Offensive rebound to AJ Coronel. Inigo wants to reset this one. 8 on the shot clock. 2-man game between him and Bonifacio. Warren off the glass and in.
6 points already and still no miss para dito kay Warren Bonifacio. No answer para sa Bacolod.
All but 2 of the points of the Voyagers coming from pass para galing dito kay Warren Bonifacio. Axel missing, that's short. But another offensive rebound here para sa Pasay. AJ Coronel, the drop step, hook shot. That's 2 more points inside for the Pasay Voyagers.
Moving forward, AJ Coronel will be playing huge. With the loss of Patrick's lead towards this season, AJ Coronel has to regain that scoring touch because they'll be needing that athleticism from AJ Coronel.
Oh, pero Mingan finds a seam in the defense. That's 4 points already in the game para kay Tricky Peromingan.
The same start para sa Bacolod. They're able to score. They're able to really utilize their talents. But they are not able to get stopped. So far, already 10 points. Everything inside the paint para dito sa Pasay.
But at least they have been able to recover from that bad start that they had against Valenzuela in their last game where they were down by as much as 17 points. Shot from the outside, misses. AJ Coronel has been very aggressive on the glass to start this game. Hilario, is that an offensive foul? Yes, it is. A charge. Laban dito kay Brian Hilario. First personal against Brian Hilario. There you see Coach Marlon Martin, their Pasay Voyagers, clinging to that number 8 spot in the Northern Division. Good draw charge there, galing kay Decoy Lopez. Former Bacoor City striker, former Mindoro Tamarang. He started the season with the Tams. Vigil has yet to hit from the outside. That's a carry against Lawrence Victoria.
Good defense, trapping him on that corner, forcing the stop. So far, Lawrence Victoria still cold. Start the ball game.
First substitution of the game para kay Coach Marlon Martin. Papasok na si Dr. Fly, Don Reverente.
I like that nickname, Dr. Fly.
It was actually Richard Tapos who coined that nickname. I still don't know why it is Dr. Fly.
Dapat
I
matanong natin.
think is it the fact that he is from the Air Force? Baka, no?
Pwede natin tanong si Richard.
Tanongin natin si Richard.
We'll get to know. But it's a really interesting nickname para dito kay Don Reverente.
Cedillo again hitting from downtown. Second 3 of the game para sa kanya. He has 8 points sa laro na to.
So far, it's been a good battle between Warren Bonifacio and Alfred Cedillo. 8 of the 12 points of Bacolod, all coming from Alfred.
Victoria from the left wing. Too strong on that 3-point try. Ludovice, who started this season with the Negros Muscovados, played 2 games with them and then did not see action anymore.
Well, that team had a really deep guard lineup. You have Hubert Cani, you have Jeff Comia, you have Ivan Ludovice. So this is going to be a better opportunity para dito kay Ivan because right away he will be starting para dito sa Bacolod.
Victoria finger rolls it with the inside hand. First basket of the game for Pasay's top scorer.
Once again, another basket coming from the inside and off the fast break para dito sa Pasay.
Tabla na tayo dito, 12 apiece. Past the halfway point of the first quarter, Cedillo could not get 3 more there. He's had 2 threes in this game. Pasay trying to break the tie. Dr. Fly at the elbow against Cedillo. Bonifacio gives it up to Victoria. Warren offers the screen. Bonifacio, step back 3 off to the right. Another offensive rebound and the putback para kay AJ Coronel.
Still the same problem para dito sa Bacolod. They could not get rebounds. They can't get stops from the inside. 14 points in the first 6 minutes. It's just too much if you want to be able to start your winning streak.
Couple of guys also coming off the bench for each squads. In the next dead balls, you have Danny Marilao. Jeb Bulawan is also there. A new addition para dito sa Bacolod, playing his second game para sa kanila, coming from the Sarangani Marlins para naman sa Pasay. Their newest addition as well, Paul Manalang, will be checking in together with Patrick Salenga. This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by New Star Max. Win to the max. Lawrence Victoria just so good at finishing through traffic and absorbing contact.
The one thing I love about Lawrence Victoria is that he can play fast, but he can also play slow. Whatever is needed from him para dito sa Pasay, he is able to contribute.
Punta muna tayo kay Ms. Mika Abesamis.
During the regular season, there were a lot of running backcourt battles, but getting into the next levels of this competition, the post will be very relevant, because of which Coach Marlon Martin has started asking the players to not only communicate, but collaborate. Start trusting in each other on a different level. Dagdag sa arsenal ng skills nila. Speaking of trust, one of the guys that Coach M is pushing right now is Daniel Aguirre. We all know maliit siya for his role, pero parang si Gary David lang daw yan, eventually natuto sa outside shooting. And we all know that these things are for to be of help to their star big man in Warren Bonifacio. Javi, Juanito.
Definitely, you know, Pasay is going to need all the help they can get from all the other players outside of the aforementioned Warren Bonifacio and, of course, Lawrence Victoria, because these two have really been doing the heavy lifting para sa Pasay this season.
Especially now with the loss of Patrick Sleet going back to Perpetual. And someone needs to step up para dito sa Pasay. But, you know, I've been a fan of Coach Marlon Martin. He's been able to really highlight a lot of players here in this Voyagers team. So let's see if Aguirre will be the next man up.
Miss from the outside, coming from Louis Vigil. Another tie here at 14 apiece. Under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Almost a steal by Bacolod. Bonifacio recovers. Bonifacio too strong. Another offensive rebound para sa Pasay. This time it's Don Reverente.
That is offensive rebound. Let's see the statistics here. That's rebound number 11 para dito sa Pasay. And that is the 8-second chance point para dito sa Voyagers. They're not the biggest team, but their activity on the offensive rebounding, that is really one strength of theirs.
You know, Don Reverente is really one of the more talented rebounders here in the league. A member of the 1,000 Rebounds Club, who actually have only very few members still to this day. Of course, one of them is Marquis as well. The first guy to get 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds dito sa MPBL.
I would pay to watch a rebounding competition. Don Reverente, Jaymar Gimpayan, Marquis.
That's definitely going to be a treat. They have broken down rebounding into a science. Jojo Antipoda gets the interception. Bulawan on the trail job, scoops it up with the left.
Well, that is what he will be adding dito sa Bacolod. Long guy, very athletic, and can really finish off that fast break.
Cyrus Tabi has come on here para sa Pasay Voyagers. 18-16, dalawang kalamangan dito ng Pasay, but they throw the ball away. Pardo looks forward. Bulawan only has Bonifacio in front of him, decides to kick it back out. Vigil spins to the middle, goes to the right, falling away, jumper is short, Reverente another board. Cyrus Tabi spins, goes up, short para kay Cyrus Tabi.
Gotta credit the defense being played by Ian Pardo right there. Already making 3 stops in the first 3 possessions. Really a good defensive guy in Pardo.
Marilao, that's a great matchup at the 4th spot. Him and Don Reverente.
I'll be watching that towards this whole ball game. 2 veterans who are very physical and will really crash that board.
That's the first basket of the game para kay Danny Marilao. Wala pa siyang rebound sa laro na to. Don Reverente, meanwhile, already also has 2 points and 2 rebounds.
Oh, this U5 Bacolod is playing way better defense from their starting unit, and they're putting pressure. They're trying to trap the corners, and they've forced 2 turnovers the last 3 possessions.
Daniel Aguirre has checked in para sa Pasay Voyagers. That's the player that Mika mentioned in the report. Ayon kay Coach Marlon Martin, he expects Aguirre to step up here para sa Pasay. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Cyrus Tabi, does he know it? Salenga puts it up. That doesn't hit the rim. Shot clock violation laban dito sa Pasay Voyagers. 55.6 seconds remaining here in the first period. This 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One Stop Shop Appliances. One of the 2 threes in the game para kay Alfred Cedillo. And he goes for another one here. This time it's short. Manalang, the brother of Parañaque's Philip Manalang. Former UST Growling Tiger, now quarterbacking para dito sa Pasay Voyagers. Manalang for 3. That's good.
The first basket of Paul Manalang para dito sa Pasay Voyagers.
Yeah, he was scoreless in that game against the Bataan Risers. 21-18. Cedillo drives left, spins. Marilao, the fall-away jumper. Doesn't get the lucky bounce. 5 seconds left here para sa Pasay. Manalang goes behind the back. Manalang gives it up. Salenga had time. All
That's gonna
nylon para kay Patrick Salenga.
That is gonna count. Good pass coming from Manalang. All eyes were on Manalang, seeing an open wing. And I assume that will count. See that again. 2 guys on Paul. Open on the wing is Jasper Salenga. And right before that red light, that will extend their lead to 6 here to end the first quarter.
Jasper Salenga. Ba't ba nga ba Patrick yung sinasabi ko? Di pa ako nakamove on kay Patrick Lee. Jasper Salenga beating the buzzer there from the right side. 24-18 is our score at the end of the first quarter, brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Check out our fan of the game, brought to you by Jinky Skin. Magagandang dilag at courtside here. We are live from the Brenzigiao Convention Center. Welcome to the live and continuing coverage of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League 6th season. Abby Balanya joined by Coach Juanito Gregorio and Ms. Mika Abisamis. Our first game for today, Pasay against Bacolod. The Voyagers leading by 6 here, 24-18. Later on, we have the Valenzuela Classic facing the Muntinlupa Cagers at 6 o'clock p.m. And in our main event, a great Northern Division matchup between the Pangasinan Heatwaves and our reigning and defending champions, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
And I'm sure this venue will be filled once again. So kung nandito kayo sa Pampanga or probably close by, Bulacan, even Pangasinan, you can troop over dito sa ating venue and enjoy our good matchups.
Salenga couldn't hit from inside. Here comes Bacolod. Cedillo has been very aggressive looking for his shot here in this game. In fact, he's leading all scorers with 10 points sa laro na to.
In the first quarter, he is already way above his averages of 7 points a ball game. And you love seeing it from Alfred Cedillo. Again, from the last year, I've always been impressed with the way he plays. A guy who really knows how to play with the pace. That's why he needs to get a lot more opportunities, and so far that is what Coach Alex Cabagnot is doing this ballgame.
Cedillo is what you call a tweener, a guy who shifts between the 3 and the 4. Maybe even plays a 5 at some times.
When needed, yes.
When needed. Pressure being applied here by Bacolod. Broken successfully by Pasay. Manalang hit a 3 earlier. Goes inside, gets it to the left hand.
I like that he is being given an opportunity to prove himself dito sa Pasay. He was not able, am I right?
Bulawan puts it up with 2 hands. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
He was not able to play para sa Manila, but he was in the lineup of Manila. He was not able to suit up for Manila, but now for Pasay, he's able to showcase his talents here.
I think it's a good move for him. And now that he has more playing time and more exposure, that was such a loaded guard lineup that he had to deal with para sa Manila Batang Sampaloc. Salenga misses from the outside. Cedillo looks forward, sees Marilao ahead of the back. Salenga was right there behind him.
A good recovery coming from Salenga. That could have been an easy jam para dito kay Marilao.
Palima pa rin ang kalamangan dito ng Pasay. There you see Kabagi, Alex Cabagnot, the head coach of the Bacolod City of Smiles, amply assisted by former Bacoor City Strikers coach Chris Gavina. Manalang goes to the right side. Aguirre is asking for it near the free throw line. Instead, Don Reverente chooses to go to Paul Manalang, but Manalang short from the outside. Pardo rejects the screen, crossover to the middle. Bulawan again, this time with a reverse.
What a pass coming from Ian Pardo, faking to a crossover, getting all the attention needed and finally dishing it off to Jeb Bulawan. Let's watch that one more time. 5 white shirts, no problem. Pardo to Bulawan for the 2.
And that is why we picked that as our play of the game, brought to you by Suzuki. Pardo, you know, this is a guy I feel that is playing with a chip on his shoulder. Not really very noticed in his past teams, but given the opportunity here with Bacolod, they're down by 3, 26-23. Our games on Saturday, we will be trooping on over to the Polo Gym in Oriental, Mindoro at 4 o'clock p.m. It's the Bicolandia Oragans going up against the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters. Right after that, the Bulacan Cuyas will be facing off against the Abra Weavers. And in our main game, the Mindoro Tamaraos will be defending their home court for the first time this season against the retooled, restacked Imus Agiman.
Group on over to the Paula Gym. At samahan nyo kami ni Javi.
That's
right.
right.
We will be covering once again on Saturday.
Bukas naman ang ating mga laro will be at the Philoil Eco Oil Arena. Bonifacio. That was good defense there by Bacolod. But another recycle here for the Voyagers. Salenga had all the time in the world. Gets his own miss. Goes inside. Almost a steal there by Bulawan. Reverente steps back for the 3-point shot. Knocks it down. And that's not a shot that he normally makes, but
I was just gonna say,
he does have that occasional 3 in his arsenal.
you just cannot leave him that wide open. He's not gonna take it when there is a defender right in front of him. Pero kung bukas na bukas, ititira yan ni Don Reverente.
Back to a 6-point lead. Cedillo, kick out, Pardo, straight away 3, no good. Cyrus Tabi says, teka lang, we will set up our offense. Bonifacio against Jeb Bulawan. Hooks a pass. Axel Inigo got hit there, but no whistle blown. Marilao gives it up to his point guard, Pardo. Cedillo against the smaller Jasper Salenga. Cedillo spins to the baseline, puts it up and in. Alfred Cedillo, sensational here in the first half. 13 points in the game.
3 rebounds and 2 assists as well. He is doing everything for Bacolod.
Oh, he's definitely keeping them in this game within striking distance. Itong kanyang kupunan. Marilao almost got that poked by Don Reverente. Recovers possession. Pardo wants the roadblock from Cedillo. There's a switch. It's Tabi now on Alfred Cedillo. Marilao was waiting for it in the middle. Excellent team play, ending in another slam by Jeb Bulawan.
That was a beautiful three-man play. Cedillo going middle, going under. And that is the way you want to play basketball.
If you're going to want to catch up in the playoff scene in the Southern Division, you will definitely have to play more of that type of basketball if you're Bacolod. But Axel Inigo trying to be the villain in their quest, or Bacolod's quest, to make it to the playoff picture in the Southern Division.
First three for Axel Inigo, but he's already had 4 assists here in the ball game, so he needs to do a lot more scoring here in this game.
Cedillo will try to get it back. That's no good. Reverente jumps for the rebound. Axel, a little headed shoulder fake, gets by Cedillo, who is forced to give up the foul. And check out that last play by Bacolod. It all started with Cedillo posting up his defender, finding Marilao in the middle, and then seeing Jeb Bulawan in that dunker spot, who did dunk it with 2 hands. But on the other side, Axel Inigo scoring a 3-pointer para sa Pasay Voyagers.
Already 2 dunks para dito kay Jeb Bulawan. One from the left, one from the right.
Yung isa parang baby dunk.
Oh.
Actually, pareho nga silang baby dunk. Mas forceful lang yung pangalawa.
What I love about Jeb Bulawan is that silently, he has already scored 8 points.
Wow.
And he has not been dribbling that basketball. He's just moving, he's just been receiving, and his teammates have been finding him in the right spot.
32-27. Pasay has been ably maintaining this lead against Bacolod with baskets and passes like that. Unfortunately, AJ Coronel was unable to hit from point-blank range. Louis Vigil has not yet made an impact scoring-wise para sa Bacolod in this game. Lopez gives it up to Ludovice. Ivan gets the screen from Bulawan. Vigil on the lift. Launches from 3. Wala pa rin.
All day para dito kay Louis Vigil.
Inigo went back with the right hand. Another offensive rebound and stick back para dito kay AJ Coronel.
Right place, right time. AJ Coronel gets his 6th point of the ball game. Just like that, Pasay is once again up by 7.
Fresh off a quick stint on the bench, AJ Coronel creating havoc right away on the glass and scoring another 2 points inside. 4 minutes and 27 remaining here in our first half. Warren Bonifacio got another double-double against the Bataan Risers. 10 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, but he was struggling quite a bit at 4 out of 15.
Not really the best offensive game para dito kay Warren Bonifacio, but still, he'll take it because of that victory.
And more on Warren Bonifacio from our courtside reporter, Mika Basamis.
Since we are gearing towards the playoffs, one of the things I asked Warren Bonifacio was what he thinks his level already is compared to the Macalonis and the Baltis of the league. Well, he said, syempre sa experience, marami pa akong dapat matutunan, lalo sa composure. Grabe daw when he watches Will Mack in the last minutes of the 4th, dami daw niyang natututunan. Much more to work on also in terms of his athleticism, which he is slowly experiencing, playing 38 minutes per game. Pero sabi niya, sa totoo lang, hindi naman ako big man literally. Working man lang. Have you, Juanito?
Well, I mean, everybody's trying to be a working man of good class here in the league.
At 6'4" with that weight, big man yan.
6'4" lang ba yan si Warren?
Yeah, probably 6'5". Oh, ano, it's probably 6'5". He's averaging good actually this year. 13 points, almost 9 rebounds a ball game. So I'm sure given a few years, he'll be able to really match that star level of Will Macaloni, Justin Baltazar.
Whoa, what a rejection there by AJ Coronel, spiking it out of the playing court.
Pwede mo ba sa volleyball to, sa AJ Coronel? Because that was...
He actually has a good body para sa volleyball.
Oh, yeah. And good timing. Look at that block.
Kung di nyo po nalalaman, ang katabi ko po dito ay team manager ng Signal sa Spikers Turf.
Recruitment na rin to, no? Kung makapagtapos sila ng MPBL, pwede sila sa Signal HD Spikers.
Another block para dito sa Pasay. Pero Mingan playing against his former squad this afternoon. This time that rejection coming from Warren Bonifacio, but both emphatic. Vigil leans in. Di pa rin makabutas dito si Louis Vigil.
He's been trying, and he's been taking good shots. Those are the shots he was actually practicing yesterday sa kanilang training, but just could not get any basket. And on the other end, Lawrence Victoria, not also the highest scoring game for him, but he'll take it because they're up by 9 here.
Victoria only the second basket of the game para sa kanya. That's another miss para sa Bacolod. Both teams actually shooting quite well from the field here in the first half. Pasay is shooting 61% from two-point country, while itong Bacolod, 52%. Ludovice goes to the corner, pero Mingan launches too strong. Rebound tracked down by Louis Vigil. Ludovice, it's his turn, and he is able to knock down that three-point shot.
He's not been taking a lot of shots here, but Ivan Ludovice can really stretch that floor for whichever team he is playing on. And finally, he gets his first three here in the ball game.
That cuts the lead back down to 6. Miles Cañal kakapasok lang dito para sa Pasay Voyagers. Axel Inigo kicks it out. Bonifacio did not hit from the outside. Decoy Lopez getting the rebound there para sa Bacolod. Chance to cut this down to 4, maybe even 3 with a three-point shot. But Decoy Lopez says, I'm going to take it inside and I'm going to take it in hard. A much stronger attack para dito kay Decoy Lopez. They've been fouled a lot of time, but finally Decoy Lopez says, no more. I need to get that basket. Ivan Ludovice draining this three-point shot, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Ivan Ludovice playing his first game para dito sa Bacolod City of Smiles. That's his first bucket in a Bacolod jersey. Again, if you just tuned in, played 2 games for the Negros Muscovados at the start of the season. Did not see action anymore after that. This is definitely a good pickup for Bacolod as they try to make a last minute surge towards the playoff picture.
And they are adding really good guys with a lot of veteran experience. Look at that, just forced an 8-second violation against Axel Inigo. But with the addition of Ivan Ludovice, Louis Vigil, Jeb Bolawan, and Decoy Lopez, these are guys that can really help out in getting those wins.
And you know, these are kinds of stops that we didn't really see at all from Bacolod prior to this retooled roster.
You actually feel the energy. Nag-iba na energy. This is a team that's not just here to play. They're here to win. And they were able to really battle it out last game, only losing by 7 points. Just really a few defensive stops away from getting that victory.
However, after forcing that 8-second violation, they were forced into a 24-second shot clock violation. Ito Bacolod to the dismay and frustration of Coach Alex Cabagnot on the sideline.
It's not going to be a very fun timeout here para sa Bacolod.
2 minutes remaining here in the first half. I'll be back. Louis Vigil, who has scored a total of 92 points in his first 3 games, including those 35 against the Valenzuela Classic. 22 of those 35 coming in the second half. A near triple-double actually para sa kanya in that game, as he also had 10 rebounds and 6 assists.
You know, I was always curious how he will be playing back in the 5-on-5 game. But Louis Vigil has been playing terrific here in the MPBL. But so far here, not that terrific yet. Para dito kay Louis Vigil, 0.0 out of 9 from the field. Para dito kay Vigil, but just like the last game, he can really heat up in the second half. So that is something that Pasay has to be careful about dito kay Louis Vigil.
I'm sure you know Coach Alex Cabagnot being his former teammate with the San Miguel Beermen, giving him a lot of liberty to really try and do his thing. Of course, Louis Vigil has been a premier scorer all throughout his career, from the high school ranks until the pros. That's what Louis Vigil's been known for.
You know, I was telling you kanina, Javi, I was really iffy how he will be adjusting to the 5-on-5 game. He's been playing the 3-on-3 for quite a few years now. But in the first 3 games, he said, ano bang kine-question mo? I am still Louis Vigil. And so far, getting his first 2 points of the ball game. And now Pasay, once again, on the other end, extends the lead to 4.
And in those first 2 games particularly, he was actually attempting shots that may not be normal to other players. And one of our courtside reporters, I forget, asked him, is there any issue with the team you taking those kinds of shots? As he knocks down a shot finally. Ito si Louis Vigil, back-to-back baskets para sa kanya. That's one from the outside earlier. It was inside. But he said that, you know, these are shots I practice.
Yes.
So nobody should take any offense or issue with these kinds of shots.
I told you, I saw him actually practicing yesterday, itong si Louis Vigil. He was taking hard shots, fadeaways, one-leg shots. So he really works on his game.
They're down by 1 here. 4 on the shot clock para sa Pasay Voyagers. Difficult shot there by Lawrence Victoria. Another terrific shot maker here in the league. He has really transformed into one of the stars dito sa MPBL. Ito si Lawrence Victoria. As we take a look at our fast break of the game, brought to you by New Star Max. Win to the max. Louis Vigil getting his first bucket of this game. 29.3 seconds remaining here. We'll take a short break. Back here inside the Brenzigiao Convention Center, you take a look at our MPBL leadership. Operations Chief Emerson Oreta, joined by Security Head, the Destroyer, Rudy Distrito. Satar Macantal is also there. And our Technical Head, George Magsino, also joins them on that sideline.
You know, we have to get a league fits of Boss Emer on every game.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely.
Walang araw na hindi magandang suot niya ni Boss Emer.
He is the foremost hype beast dito sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino, si Boss Emer Oreta. Vigil gets the pass last minute to Tricky Peromingan, who finishes with the left. 7 seconds ang natitira. Ludovice gives up the foul. Only their second team foul here.
I just love the IQ that's being brought by these players of Bacolod. You see Ludovice knowing that they're not in the penalty. Louis Vigil on that last second, seeing the cutter. Tricky Peromingan seeing that there was a lane on the middle. But these players are playing well here.
3 seconds to go. Victoria gets fouled there by Lopez. Very smart foul with 0.8 of a second remaining here in the first half.
11-2 run to end the quarter here para dito sa Bacolod.
After being down by 6 at the end of the first 10 minutes, we're all tied up at 38. But Pasay still has 0.8 seconds to try and break this. Another good deflection by Tricky Peromingan. He has always been known to be a ferocious defender. Louis Vigil and his squad going on that 11-2 run to finish the first half.
Bonifacio, Coronel, and Victoria combining for 20 of the 38 points, and the big three of Pasay once again showing hard here in the ballgame.
Lawrence Victoria has 6, so does AJ Coronel. Bonifacio leads that trio with 8 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple of assists. And those 3 guys trying to get Pasay back-to-back victories here this afternoon against Bacolod, while the City of Smiles are trying to snap their 13-game losing streak. Our end of the first half score brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. Halftime now between the Pasay Voyagers and the Bacolod City of Smiles. We're all tied up at 38 apiece after Pasay was able to race to a 6-point lead after the end of the first 10 minutes. Bacolod outscoring them 20-14 in that second quarter. We are live from the Brenzigao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. Javi Palanya joined by Coach Juanito Gregorio and Ms. Mika Abisamis. Your numbers, Juanito, for the first 20 minutes.
Story of two quarters. The first quarter going the side of Pasay. The second quarter, good adjustment by Bacolod, making that comeback. Rebounding, going the side of Pasay, especially offensive rebounding. That's why they have 15-second chance points. But how did Bacolod get a comeback? They were able to force a lot of turnovers. 9 points off the turnovers, 4 fast break points in the second quarter para dito sa Bacolod. And they were able to mount a double-digit lead. That is why we are tied here entering the third quarter.
Eh dito nga Pasay, they took a while in their dugout. Mukhang mahaba-haba ang pag-usapan ni Coach Marlon Martin sa kanyang mga bata. Didn't like the way they finished that first half where they were outscored by 6 points.
Well, they started this game strong. They were very active on the offensive rebounding. They were able to get a lot of second chance points, but it was not the same energy in the second quarter. So I'm sure Coach Marlon Martin just wants to remind the boys that it's a very important game, especially that they are number 8 right now in the Northern Division.
A very cramped up Northern Division, I must say. Alfred Cedillo leading all scorers in this game with 13 points. Sa kabila naman, it's Warren Bonifacio top scoring for the Pasay Voyagers with 8 points. He also has 6 rebounds and a couple of assists. Second half now underway here. This is the first game of our Thursday triple header here at the Brenzigao Convention Center. Ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino travels to the culinary capital of the Philippines for the 9th time this year. Later on at 8 o'clock p.m., the Pampanga Giant Lanterns will be defending their home floor against the Pangasinan Heat Waves. That's, of course, right before the matchup, or right after the matchup between the Valenzuela Classic and the Muntinlupa Cagers. Bonifacio going to work right away early here.
The first 10 points of Pasay in this ball game, all coming from the paint. 6 of those coming from Warren Bonifacio. So I think they want to go back to that kind of offense from Pasay.
This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Bonifacio missing badly on his first free throw. There you see his averages so far this season, 12.9 points, 8.8 rebounds. But that is a very remarkable percentage from the line for a big man, 84%.
Very, very efficient para dito kay Warren Bonifacio. So it's so hard to really say that foul him hard and send him to the line because he's very efficient in that line. So a very good big man itong si Warren Bonifacio.
Aside from getting a good percentage from the line here in this game, he has been able to bounce back from that paltry shooting that he had against the Bataan Risers in their previous matchup where he only scored 26.7% from the field. This afternoon, he is 4 out of 7. That's 57.1. Malaki ang naging talon ni Warren Bonifacio in terms of his efficiency dito sa laro na to.
He's still a very young guy itong si Warren Bonifacio. Still a lot to learn, but you see the effort he is putting in every ball game. So I really like the work that he is putting in. In 1 year, this guy will have so much growth here in the MPBL.
This guy has definitely shown that in this game. Ito si Jeb Bulawan, 8 points. A very quiet 8 points, but highlighted by 2 slams. Ito si Jeb Bulawan.
I remember we already covered Bacolod twice, and we've always been saying that they are struggling in terms of bigs because they are really outnumbered. But now with the addition of Decoy Lopez and Jeb Bulawan, you see the change in the lineup. Bacolod, their guards and their forwards are much more comfortable really playing their role.
Lawrence Victoria getting the move on against Ivan Ludovice. That's what you love about Lawrence Victoria. That body of his, he uses it so well in making those shots, especially inside.
Might not be the tallest for that shooting guard position, but he is wide and he is strong. So he's able to get those buckets.
This guy is not that wide compared to Lawrence Victoria, but he is definitely strong. Itong si Dr. Fly, Don Reverente, and he is featured in our Fast Break of the Game brought to you by New Star Max. Win to the max. Reverente finishing in transition plus the foul.
And you see, even at his age, still very athletic and still very strong. The way he takes care of his body, yan ang talagang mapapabilib ka dito kay Don Reverente. And we asked earlier, as we promised to the ones who were watching the first quarter, why Dr. Fly? It's because of DR. Don Reverente, and then because he flies a lot, especially in his younger years, guys called Dr. Fly. At kinuha daw yun sa isang wrestler, Mr. Fly. Hindi ko na inabot eh. Baka panahon na rin talaga ni Richard Tampos yun.
Louis Vigil able to draw a foul here against the Pasay defense. Vigil scored 22 of his 35 points in the second half in their last game. So expect him to definitely try and do the same here in this matchup against the Pasay Voyagers.
Look at that averages.
Staggering numbers for his first 3 games.
It's like looking at an NBA player. 30, 11, and 4. What a beautiful first 3 games para kay Louis.
Let's turn you over to Ms. Mika Besamis.
Despite the many points Louis Vigil has contributed in his last 3 games, he still feels he is hurting the team by not being 100% in shape. He gained 10 pounds being away from 5-on-5 for a year. Although still in his playing weight, he needs to be on the court to get back his rhythm and shape. Sabi niya, I never stopped working out, but I need to play to apply. So here you are, Louis, 38 minutes per game. Javi and Juanito.
Di pa pala in shape yan? 30.7? Di pa pala in shape? So kung in shape, ano na?
Parang, how can you hurt if you're scoring 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists a ball game? But that's the humility and the work being brought in by Louis Vigil. Actually, kahapon, he stayed for about another hour to really shoot a lot more shots alongside ito si Tricky Perumingan. So, really wants to get back into 5-on-5 shape.
However, shots though have to be made by Bacolod here in the third quarter. They haven't gotten any. Pasay zooming out to a 10-0 lead here to begin the third quarter. Thus the timeout para dito kay Coach Alex Cabagnot. Warren Bonifacio has been off to a good start in this game. 11 points already, 6 rebounds plus a couple of assists para sa kanya. And he's a big reason why the Voyagers have been able to go out on a 10-0 run here to begin the third quarter.
You know what I love about Warren Bonifacio? He has that post-game, old school-like, but if he extends and needs to be able to shoot threes or put that ball on the floor, meron din siya nun eh. So he's a really good mix of an old school guy and a new school big man who can shoot that three.
Traditional and modern at the same time.
Oh, I know, but it's what they need. Yeah, today, he knows that he has an advantage on the inside. Give it to me on the post. Against teams who are big and he needs to be able to stretch it out, he'll be shooting a lot of threes.
Pressure being applied here by Pasay, but Ludovice gets it across. Sorry miss on that floater. That was halfway down para kay Ivan. And that's another stop here para sa Pasay. Defensive intensity increasing here in the third quarter for the Voyagers.
Now it's Pasay's turn to now press up on Bacolod. Earlier, it was Bacolod who really set up that 2-2-1 press that forced a lot of turnovers. But dito, binabaliktad ng Pasay. Sila naman ang may pressure sa third quarter.
Bonifacio, he has gotten the number of Lopez here in the second half. And that is another foul drawn against Decoy Lopez. Warren Bonifacio he will trip to the line for another 2 shots here. Really trying to pick up from where he left off in that last game and even more, especially in terms of the efficiency. An 84% free throw shooter this season. Ito si Warren Bonifacio. There you see Coach Chris Gavina, first assistant of Bacolod's Coach Alex Cabagnot.
Decoy Lopez will now be trooping to the bench. He already has 3 fouls here in the third quarter. So they'll be going a little bit more smaller with the Danny Marilao, but can play physical.
Oh, that's a turnover there para sa Bacolod. And Bulawan was just too late there in trying to stop the shot of Don Reverente. That's a goaltend laban kay Jeb Bulawan.
At the start the third quarter, they are already on a 14-0 run. Bacolod has not been able to score a single bucket here in the third quarter.
Nagbunga ang matagal na usapan sa dugout during halftime para dito sa Pasay Voyagers. And can Bacolod finally redeem themselves in this possession? Already 4 minutes almost gone by here in this period. And Bacolod still without a score. Ludovice dancing there with bigger Warren Bonifacio. However, that's going to be a personal.
I like that switch. Really wanted that switch, wanted to go, wanted to test the speed of Warren Bonifacio, and he'll be forcing a foul there.
Ludovice has 3 points so far in this game, plus 3 assists. Former San Beda Red Lion. And he brings so much leadership to that point guard spot para dito sa Bacolod. And something that Coach Alex Cabagnot has been sorely missing at the start of the season.
Also some stability on that point guard role. His brother right now, I think, is playing for the Gilas 17 under. So shout out to you, Waki.
Aminin ba ni Ivan na mas magaling si Waki sa kanya?
Pico, he's very supportive. Ivan's very, very supportive. He's been there in all of their UST Juniors games. So, baka maamin din niya. But that guy is a wild shooter, Waki Ludovice.
I'll tell you who's a wild shooter, Lawrence Victoria. He scored on another basket previous to this play para dito sa Pasay Voyagers. And here come the Voyagers again. Don Reverente, Warren Bonifacio, Lawrence Victoria. All of them having their way here in the third quarter. They have been manhandling this defense and also forcing a lot of turnovers. There you see Coach Chris Gavina and Coach Alex Cabagnot convening on that Bacolod bench to try and figure out how to solve the problems arising here para sa Bacolod.
The one thing you're seeing with this Pasay team is really their comfort level with each other. They know that pag mayroong isang nag-iinit, it's your turn. And we really give that ball. So in that press, they know that Don Reverente has an advantage. They give him that opportunity. And it's really the continuity of the program. Itong Pasay Voyagers. From the last year, they had their same core. They had their same stars. Now even adding Warren Bonifacio and a few other guys. But still, with Axel Inigo, AJ Coronel, with Lawrence Victoria, Don Reverente. So it's really the continuity of this program that's really something we have to commend.
You know what? Pasay has one of the more underrated cultures here in the MPBL.
Oh, yeah.
I would actually go even far as saying that Pasay may just be the Miami Heat of the MPBL.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's why I'm really a big fan of Coach Marlon. He gets so much respect from the players that they really give in to the culture, to the system. Kaya sila maraming panalo. No big names para dito sa Pasay Voyagers, yet they still get a lot of wins here in the season.
I'm going to stop you there, though. I think Lawrence Victoria has already established himself as a big name. This season.
One of the bigger stars.
Ooh, Anteporda had that pass deflected, and here comes Reverente trying to chase down that basketball. Victoria couldn't track it down on the back. Cedillo, top scorer for Bacolod in the first half, gets it to Anteporda, who scores from the outside. And finally, a string of baskets here para sa Bacolod.
Sorry, miss. The pass was just too low para kay Don Reverente. Couldn't get his balance. And on the other end, Jojo Anteporda running to the corner, getting that three.
13 pa rin ang kalamangan dito ng Pasay, though. Coronel loses it for a bit. Inigo picks it up. Anteporda right there with him. Bonifacio, this time against Danny Marilao. One-legged jumper a la Dirk Nowitzki. Warren Bonifacio getting another bucket.
That's what we were saying. He can put that ball on the post, yet if he needs to get shots from the outside, he also has that skill.
He can play physical, he can play finesse.
Yes.
It's from the outside coming from Cedillo. A rare offensive rebound para dito sa Bacolod, courtesy of J.M. Manalang, to the frustration of Dr. Fly Don Reverente. But see this gorgeous move right here coming from Warren Bonifacio.
He knows that he has that advantage. Hindi siya maaabot ni Danny Marilao because of that length. And all smiles after that swoosh para dito kay Warren Bonifacio.
Bonifacio now has 15 points in the game plus 7 rebounds and a couple of times. Jay Manalang will be our guest at the charity stripe. Manalang has not yet scored in this game. That's his first point. 4 minutes and 22 remaining sa ating third quarter. It has been a struggle for Coach Alex Cabagnot's team here in this period. But in the last couple of possessions, they have been able to score buckets. Now they need stops. A split at the line para kay Jay Manalang. Bonifacio goes back down to the block. Oh, this time he loses it. Good defense. Gallant stand there by Danny Marilao on the post.
Better adjustment galing dito kay Danny Marilao. He knows that they'll be giving the ball para dito kay Warren Bonifacio to play a little bit more physical getting that stop.
Ian Pardo has checked back into the game for Bacolod. Marilao wants it against Victoria. Cedillo now falls down for a bit, recovers his footing, and finishes with the left hand.
One guy that they have to get going once again is Alfred Cedillo. Scored 13 points, highest scorer in the first half. But here, the first 2 para sa kanya here in the third quarter.
Coronel at the corner, gives it back out to Tabi on top. Victoria gets by Pardo. Dish to Bonifacio, who wishes he made that shot.
You see the frustration and disappointment on himself dito kay Warren Bonifacio. He's had a lot of difficult shots here in the ballgame, yet the easiest of the day, he will be missing. But syempre, babawi at babawi yan.
Ipapahinga muna dito si Lawrence Victoria. Balik sa laro si Jasper Salenga. Interception by Bacolod. They will not run. They will set this one up. 58-46. Marilao lost his balance there against Don Reverente.
And that matchup once again, Don Reverente versus Danny Marilao, 2 of the most physical power forwards we have here in the MPBL. Alam mo, parang yan nga yung, yan yung fixture ng power forwards dito sa MPBL. Those really high-flying rebounders. You have Jmar Gimpayan on the other teams. A lot of those kinds of guys.
Oh, Brian Hilario, after starting this game, has only checked back in dito sa ating third quarter. And Louis Vigil draws the foul. Bacolod wants continuation.
Oh, yeah. I think they're considering on counting it. I think they should count that.
It was a really slow move to the basket, but he was in the motion.
It's Louis Vigil. It's Louis Vigil. It was another player. You know he was going to score it. He was going to take that shot anyways because it's Louis Vigil.
And they give him the basket. Ito si Louis Vigil.
In motion na eh. In motion.
Vigil completes the three-point play. 7 points sa laro na to para kay Louis Vigil. 58-49. Baba na sa single digits sa kalamangan dito ng Pasay. Reverente thought twice, eventually took it. That's long. Vigil gets his 7th rebound of the match. Paul Manalang really putting on the pressure there against Louis Vigil, but Vigil showing us the handles. Marilao has a smaller defender on him. The double by Hilario. Ludovice sets for 3. No go. Rebound by Pasay. Salenga won't force it. Couple of fakes blocked there by Marilao. One of the best shot blockers in the league, Danny Marilao.
Good recovery by Bacolod right there. 3 black shirts to try and stop Jasper Salenga on that fast break.
Ludovice hesitates, puts on the brakes. Manalang from the baseline. That's good.
Specialty of Manalang, that mid-range bucket. Every time he's open, he's taking it, he's making it.
That's now 13 points in the quarter para dito sa Bacolod City of Smiles. And they have come to life at this point of the period after being waxed out 14-0 at the start of this period. They are mounting a short comeback dito sa ating third quarter under 2 minutes to play here in this period. Alfred Cedillo has 15 points after not seeing action in their past game. 4 rebounds as well as 3 assists. 2 out of 7 from three-point country. But those 2 threes actually came at the start of the game, and he has not been able to knock down anything from the outside since then.
Alfred Cedillo, pretty cold second half for him. He needs to be able to heat up once again if they want to mount a comeback itong Bacolod.
They're in the process of it right now. Down by only 7 here. Hilario. Looking for a teammate. Gets it to Manalang. Paul hands it off. Reverente was blocked there. A little too soft on the finish. Gets it back and makes sure this time he gets the 2 points.
16 points, 8 rebounds for Dr. Fly, Don Reverente. What a ball game he is playing here.
Reverente with 16 points in this game plus 8 rebounds. Marilao against the smaller side of Stabby. The double comes from Don Reverente. Manalang lost it for a bit, puts it back. There's a foul on the rebound play. A number of white shirts there crowding up Alfred Cedillo inside.
One thing about Cyrus Stabby, he might be small, but this guy was a teammate of mine in Quezon City. This guy is mighty. Really puts defense on top of his priority. That's why he got the stop there from Danny Marilao.
Cedillo averaging 7.6 points per game this season, including 3.6 rebounds. He's only a 68.2% free throw shooter. Bacolod down by 8 here. Cedillo short on the second. Those free throws are gonna have to fall para dito sa Bacolod if they want to complete this comeback. They are 9 out of 18 right now. Under a minute to play dito sa ating third quarter. Manalang looks at the clock. It reached 5. Salenga gets it to Reverente, who was all alone underneath.
That is how you play team basketball. Rotate that ball, get everybody involved, and get the best shot available. And that is exactly how Pasay went with that last play.
Both teams have actually been moving that ball around well dito sa laro na to. And there, Louis Vigil getting a basket and 1. Both teams have a total of 39 assists between them.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it. Everybody is getting a touch. Everybody is an option. Not a lot of isolation plays. You see that team basketball once again. So everybody is really able to contribute here.
Even if it's coming off a screen and roll action or 2-man games
Yes,
on top,
oo.
tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung nagiging movement.
Meron tayong cutters, merong mga dun sa dunker's lane. There's someone who's actually moving to the corner looking for that shot. So if you're a basketball player and you want to watch how to move without that basketball, this Pasay versus Bacolod game is actually a very good example.
About a 2-second differential between the shot clock and game clock here. Let's see how Pasay manages this time. Elvin Chan is in the game for the first time. Chan trying to go up against Danny Marilao there, eventually giving it up. Bonifacio does the same. Salenga could not finish at the rim. As steps on the baseline, that's going to be a turnover. 2.4 seconds remaining here for Bacolod to try and put up a last second shot.
Let's see, still enough time for them to be able to get something good up.
Ludovice heaves from half court. Was straight, malakas lang ng konti. That could have been a big boost para sa Bacolod had that gone in para kay Ivan Ludovice.
A good recovery by Pasay, by Bacolod here in the third quarter. 14-0 to start the third quarter by Pasay, but to end the third quarter, Bacolod was able to recover in getting that 14-10 run. But on the other end, Don Reverente just playing a wonderful ball game. 18 points, 13 points in the third quarter, getting 8 boards as well. And the leader, Dr. Fly, is once again playing terrific here in Pampanga.
62-55, our end of the third quarter score brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. Presenting our Suzuki muscular and sporty fan of the game, just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with the muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki, the Avenus. Oras na para magmotor. Live na live ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino dito sa Brenzigiao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. Is Javi Palanya on the call, joined by Coach Juanito Gregorio and Ms. Mika Abesamis. First game of our Thursday triple header here. Pasay versus Bacolod. The Voyagers trying to win back-to-back games after a victory in the last match. While itong Bacolod, they're trying to snap their 13-game losing skid. That's the second longest losing streak here in the league next to Imuses. Ludovice, Cedillo, Marilao, Vigil, Bulawan, the 5 on the floor to begin the penultimate quarter here para kay Coach Alex Cabanot. Meanwhile, para sa Pasay, it's Reverente, Chan, Salenga, Bonifacio, and Paul Manalang. Bonifacio in the middle. Stolen there by Ludovice from behind. Definitely a block there against Paul Manalang.
I like this Tiger versus Tiger matchup.
Actually, yeah, that's right.
Paul Manalang is actually forcing Louis Vigil to put that ball on the floor and they're really making it hard for him to put that ball up. And that's why they're putting a much shorter guy on Louis Vigil to force him to have that have a hard time down low. And Paul Manalang is doing a wonderful job against Vigil.
Two former UST stars of different eras. Ito si Paul Manalang and Louis Vigil facing off here for their respective squads, Pasay and Bacolod. There's another foul against Paul Manalang. That's going to be a sideline throw in here para sa Bacolod. Pasay has given up already 2 fouls here in the fourth quarter. Not even a minute has gone by. Vigil falling away too strong. Bonifacio gets the rebound. 1 rebound away from a double-double. Ito si Warren Bonifacio, 62-55. Manalang goes to the corner. Reverente puts the ball on the deck. Sees Salenga on the left wing. Chan will launch from the corner. It's nothing but air.
Good defense by Bacolod right there. Good movement, able to locate all possible shooters.
Vigil short, gets his own miss. Second serving, wala pa rin. The battle for the loose ball ends up with the former Mapua Cardinal, Jasper Salenga. That's a foul given up there by Ivan Ludovice to stop the break.
Once again, who made it hard for Louis Vigil in that last play? It was Paul Manalang.
You would think that Paul Manalang shouldn't actually be guarding Louis Vigil because of the height difference.
Yeah. But, you know, matibay eh. Kayang-kaya niya, tapatan. Itong si Louis Vigil. But now he'll be trooping to the bench, going a little bit taller, and putting back in AJ Coronel.
All right, let's go to Ms. Mika Abesamis.
Sometimes going on a break is challenging as your goal is to rest. But for athletes, both of you know this, there's basically no rest. Ivan Ludovice was out from May 1 until end of June, no practice. But every day papawis. Didn't matter how busy as he attended sa kanyang negosyo, basta tuloy ang kilos. Another reason for Ivan to keep going is his brother Joaquin, who as we know is playing for the under-17 Gilas team. Lagi daw sinasabi sa kanya, Kuya, maglaro ka pa. Enough reason for him to make it back. Plus a newborn boy, he now has 2 boys that could be future Ludovices in the MPBL. Ivan hopes to be of value to Bacolod. Have you, Juanito?
Thank you so much, Mika. Wonderful report there. That's a couple of things that Ivan can draw inspiration from. His brother Waki.
He's playing hungry here. You know? He's been playing with a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove something here in this ball game.
That he misses from three-point country on that pass play. So does Lawrence Victoria.
No one has scored here in the fourth quarter, a little bit slower.
(64-55). Almost 3 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Tabi falls down. It's basically 4-on-5 right now. But Cyrus able to get back. Vigil from the outside gets it to go.
I think that's the first three of Louis Vigil here in this ball game. He's been struggling from that outside, but still he will have that confidence whenever he's open.
Yeah, prior to that, he missed his first 5 attempts from downtown. He's now 1 out of 6 from three-point country. It is Louis Vigil, but 4 out of 17 overall. That's just 23%.
Very manageable lead, only down 6, and this may be down to 4 here.
Vigil decelerates. That's something that he's really good at. Short on the finger roll. Bulawan couldn't get it from close range. Botched opportunity there para sa Bacolod. Marilao trying to get in between the passing lane there.
Those are sorry misses. Those are wide open. That was a good move by Louis Vigil on the deceleration. It was a miss, but that was a good rebound by Bulawan, wide open as well.
You can definitely see yung inis niya sa kanyang sarili when he went back down to play defense.
He's been doing that his whole career. From the 5-on-5 to the 3-on-3, from UST to the PBA up to the MPBL. That's why he can't believe na siya nagbintis on that shot.
Victoria couldn't kiss it off the glass. Actually, Victoria's been struggling a bit in this game. That guy hasn't. Reverente continues his remarkable play in this game.
Already the highest scorer here in the ball game. 20 big points para dito kay Don Reverente.
And he's doing it at a very efficient 8 out of 11 from the field. A miscommunication there between Ludovice and Marilao on the two-man game on the right side. Ball is loose, picked up there by Warren Bonifacio. Gives it up to the cutting Don Reverente. Reverente actually having pretty dismal season compared to past years this year. Only averaging 6 points per game. We know Reverente to be a constant double-double machine.
But to start the season, they had Patrick's lead, so he didn't really need to score a lot para dito sa Pasay. But now, first game without Patrick, he knows that he has to step up once again. Now all the way to 20 points.
68-58, the lead back up to double digits here para sa Pasay Voyagers. We're approaching the halfway point of our final frame here between Bacolod and Pasay. Marilao hands it off to Ludovice. Spins to the middle. Bulawan gives it up to Peromingan at the corner. Beyond the arc. Couldn't hit.
Wide open shot para kay Tricky Peromingan. It's a good shot for a better shot. Just could not make that wide open shot.
Rebound number 11 para kay Warren Bonifacio. 15 and 11 already para sa kanya sa laro na to. No-look pass inside. Axel Inigo finding Don Reverente again. Patambay-tambay lang talaga siya dyan sa dunker spot na yan.
And he is making a living out of being from that spot.
Reverente continues to try and put pressure on this Bacolod defense. Marilao takes a seat on the bench. Decoy Lopez back in the game para kay Coach Alex Cabagnot. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Reverente missing on the first free throw. That was short. I think this might be the best game of Reverente this season. Let me just check. Reverente is up to 20 points and 11 rebounds in this game. Vigil spots for 3 at short. Bonifacio another rebound.
That's the 11th rebound of Warren Bonifacio here in this ball game.
Axel Inigo with a trail job, knocks it down from the outside, and the arrows are out for Mr. Inigo.
Axel Inigo, only the 6th point here in this ball game, but he has been distributing well here in this game. Already 7 assists for their leader and their star point guard, Axel Inigo.
Getting it back here from Lawrence Victoria, trailing the play. Axel Inigo launches and hits para sa Pasay Voyagers, extending this lead to 13 points, 71 to 58. 4 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in this game. Check out our fan of the game at the sideline, brought to you by Jinky Skin. 2 women out of the lovely crowd here at the Brenzigiao Convention Center na patuloy na napupuno dito in anticipation for their home team's game against the Pangasinan Heatwaves later on at 8 o'clock p.m. By the way, first game pa lamang po ito. Itong Bacolod versus Pasay. Right after this, we have Valenzuela going up against Muntinlupa. Victoria against the Batan Risers was good for 16 points. The night, yes, 12 points. Very silent 12 points, I must say, including 4 rebounds and 3 assists.
But these are 12 points that he really had to work hard for. Not the best scoring game para dito kay Lawrence Victoria. Bacolod really scouting him very well for today. But the good thing, the other guys are stepping up. Inigo, Reverente, Bonifacio, Coronel. Everybody is here to play for Pasay.
They're up by 13. Almost another turnover there by Bacolod. And actually, it's Pasay who hasn't really been taking of the ball well enough in this game. Bacolod only has 10 turnovers sa laro na to compared to the 16 of Pasay. Cedillo spins into trouble, puts it up, doesn't get the lucky bounce. Victoria chases it. Victoria pulls back. Absolutely no need to rush here for the Pasay Voyagers. They're up by 13. 3 minutes and 35 remaining in this game. Victoria goes cross court. Inigo. Short. Rebound to Decoy Lopez.
They need to be able to execute here. They have not been able to get a bucket in the last few minutes.
Pero Mingan hasn't really been scoring a lot here in the second half. After scoring 6 points in the first 20, he's playing against his former squad here. We expected him to try and put up a very good performance this afternoon against the Pasay Voyagers. But that has not come to fruition just yet. Ludovice tried to bounce a pass inside to Decoy Lopez. Quite a tough spot there para kay Ivan Ludovice to make that pass.
You gotta commend the defense being played by Pasay. That two-man game is really read well. They are closing down on any option. Whenever that big gets that ball inside, they really are making it hard to get an easy shot. And that is kudos para dito sa Pasay Voyagers.
High-low between Reverente and Warren Bonifacio.
Too long, too strong. Warren Bonifacio really putting a name in the paint. That is good for 17 points para dito kay Warren.
That duo in the front court para dito sa Pasay Voyagers here this afternoon. Reverente and Bonifacio, they have been doing the most damage for the Pasay Voyagers in this game against Bacolod.
All season long, they have been underrated. Itong si Bonifacio, Reverente, once upon a time also Sleet. But I know these guys can make it work and can get them a lot of wins.
Now the question for Bacolod is, can they make this comeback work? They're down by 13 still with 2 minutes and 20 remaining in this game.
Well, they have the talent to make a comeback. Do they still have the energy? Can they have that game plan?
Victoria against Peromingan, a talented defender. Victoria loses it. It will stay with the Voyagers with 7 to work with. Inigo to trigger in here for the Pasay Voyagers. Gets it back. Axel from the perimeter. That's all nylon para kay Axel Inigo.
What a fourth quarter. Axel is playing whenever he is needed to score. He just steps up and shows why he is once an NCAA champion.
And we now enter the final 2 minutes, brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball ending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. AJ Coronel trying to put the final nails in the coffin here para sa Pasay Voyagers. His lead is now 17.
And now I'm seeing the crowd favorite of Pasay slowly inching into that scorer's table.
Decoy Lopez puts it up, no good. A field goal percentage has just really dropped down para sa Bacolod here, especially in the fourth quarter.
Only 5 points for them here in the fourth quarter. They have not been able to get their execution going. The usual talents, the usual scorers, wala. They have not been able to contribute here in the fourth.
After that 20-point performance in the second period, their performance has dipped here in the second half. Of course, big part is the intensified defense of the Pasay Voyagers coming out of that locker room. They took a long while to come out of that dugout. Mahaba-haba ang napag-usapan ni Coach Marlon Martin at mukhang nagbuma naman para sa kanyang kupunan. At here, Alfred Cedillo making a case for play of the game. That's brought to you by Suzuki. Cedillo a little hesitation here against Warren Bonifacio. Cedillo still trying to inch closer here para sa kanyang kupunan, getting the basket and one there.
Important for Alfred Cedillo to continue getting his rhythm. They are still not out of the woods. Still 12 games after this para dito sa Bacolod. So technically, pwede pa. They can still inch for that number 8 spot here in the Southern Division. But they have to be able to put in a lot of work in the last 12 games of the season.
Do they have to be unbeaten in those 12 games?
It depends on what will happen on that 6, 7, 8 spot. Because right now, they will be 7 games under from Iloilo.
So can you now say that even if they do win all of those remaining games, medyo di na rin nila hawak yung kapalaran nila?
Yes, they have to be able to wish that all the other teams will be losing for them to be able to have that chance.
Well, there they force a shot clock violation to the dismay of Coach Marlon Martin, even if the outcome has already been actually decided here with 31.8 seconds remaining and them up by 14. Still not satisfied. That's the type of excellence he expects from his players, even at this point of the match.
And look at Cienes still putting in that pressure.
Oh, Jamel Ramos making his first appearance in this game para sa Bacolod. He actually started a few matches this season already para sa kupunan ni Coach Alex Cabagnot.
With the addition of Ivan Ludovice, it seems like Jamel Ramos will be the one trooping to the bench. But this guy can contribute whenever he's needed, getting 2 points. I was talking with him yesterday. Says coming from the Bay Area, just wants to play basketball here in the Philippines.
Mix reported earlier this season when Ramos came in that his first sport was actually American football.
You actually see it in how wide his body is.
Cedillo still continuing to score here. He's up to 23 points. Elvin Shan gives it up to Jesky Latan, who I believe is playing his first game of the season para sa Pasay Voyagers. Welcome back to Jesky Latan. Been a while since we've seen him here in the MPBL. And Coach Marlon Martin, the Pasay Voyagers getting back-to-back victories after winning their last game against the Bataan Risers, winning now against the Bacolod City of Smiles. They made sure coming out of that halftime break that they would get this victory.
What a game played by Pasay Voyagers right here. They know that every game is important. That's why everybody really chipped in after the loss of Patrick Slate. But one guy who really stepped up big time is Don Reverente. 20 points, 11 rebounds, 15 points in the second half, 13 points in the third quarter alone. And this guy was really huge for them to be able to get that big lead in the third quarter. Well deserving of our player of the game honors is Dr. Fly Don Reverente.
Our best player of the game brought to you by Manny Pacquiao's MPBL 77-67 ang ating final score. That's brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Now, our best player of the game, Don Reverente, is at courtside with Ms. Mika Bisamas.
Maraming salamat, kasama ko ngayon ang Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Best Player of this game. Walang iba kung hindi si Don Reverente. Don, sabi sa akin ni Coach M kanina, hindi ka daw niya masyadong inaalala kasi alam niyang pagkailangan ka niya, ibibigay mo. At yan ang pinakita mo ngayong araw na to with 20 points. Anong masasabi mo doon?
Siyempre, pinapalitan ko lang yung binibigay sa akin na tiwala ng coach namin. And ganoon din po yung mga management namin, mga boss namin.
Don, masusubukan ulit ang chemistry nyo dahil ang susunod na kalaban nyo ay Pangasinan. Para sa'yo, kamusta yung camaraderie mo sa mga bagong teammates mo sa season na to?
Okay naman kasi lahat naman maganda yung training namin, yung practice namin, then yung bonding namin sa every practice namin.
Alam kong gusto mo nang bumate. Meron ka ba mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan doon?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord God and especially sa mga boss namin sa Pasay, kay Boss Ege and Mayor Emmy Calixto Rubiano, Expedia Management Investment, My Pet Space, Pet Hotel, NCR Dental Clinic, LCR Water, Tel Athletics, and happy birthday kay Edwin Geraldoy. And gusto kong batiin nga pala yung family ko dyan sa Las Piñas and especially yung misis ko na si Daisel Villanueva, mga babies ko si Sander and Cassie. And binabati ko rin pala yung Reverente family, Quanico family, Fortit family, Ligia family, Barsena family, Potenciando family, sa lahat ng mga tropa ko. Yun lang.
Maraming salamat once again. Our Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Best Player of this game is Don Reverente, Javi, and Juanito.
Talagang sinulit doon ni Don Reverente ang kanyang pagiging best player of the game. I believe that's his first best player of the game award this season para sa Pasay Voyagers. They win back-to-back games here against the Bacolod City of Smiles. Up next, we have the Muntinlupa Cagers taking on the Valenzuela Classic. Thank you so much for joining us for our first game. For my partner, Coach Juanito Gregorio, and our courtside reporter, Ms. Mika Abisamis. This has been Javi Palanya. Keep it locked in here on the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Isang magandang gabi sa inyo mga kaliga. Welcome to the live and continuing coverage of the 6th season of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. We are live from the Brenzigiao Convention Center in Pampanga, where we are witnessing the return of Cyrus Baguio to the MPBL. He will be going up against the team of the Muntinlupa Cagers for tonight, the second game of our odds. They have retooled already after the free agency signing and trade window that we had, that by the way is already finished. How do you like the chances of both of these teams to make a last-minute push to the playoffs?
Well, you know, it's a story of two